Yo, 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 yo. What's happening? It's your boy, Wild Harmar. I'm in the building. I will be joined by the big homie Nick Chai in Detroit, Maryland in just a minute. But until we do, you know what it is. Please go over to all your social media platforms. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Makes you know when we drop new content at I.O.W Sports Network. That is the YouTube channel. Same address for Facebook, the Instagram as well. I.O.W Sports 1 on the Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I'm still tweeting. I'm not ready to concede to call it X yet, so I'm gonna still call it Twitter. But please go on over there, all your social media platforms. Tap in with us. And yeah, please keep rocking with us. We're going to keep doing what we do over here. Man, busy weekend, right? Had a lot going on over the weekend. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. We made it to another Monday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we did. Man, I don't know about y'all. Excuse me. For those who got kids, I love my kids, but fuck them kids, man. Hey, I'm allowed to say that I'm their daddy, and I'm you know, it's because kids, man, they bring in so much damn germs. Like I've been fighting the cold for the last couple of days, man, because of the kids, man. It's like I've been taking vitamin C pills and drinking orange juice, eating oranges. I'm about to turn into a Florida orange. How much vitamin C I've been eating? Man, they get you sick, man. I don't care what nobody say. Kids get you sick. But excuse me. a lot, like we said, a lot to discuss over the weekend in sports. I'm starting to see some beefs. Excuse me. I want to talk about this for just a second. Well, I'm not the biggest Cam Newton fan, or when he played, I wasn't the biggest Cam Newton fan. I recognize what he did as a talent, recognize how talented he was, such an anomaly of a football player that he was, especially at the quarterback position. Very mobile. Very mobile. He was a dual threat quarterback, fit that mold to a T. Had the one MVP season 2015. And I thought he was, he gets you highlights. That's how phenomenal he was. He put up some highlights. And, as a passer, he was okay. He was okay. Didn't wow you. Some throws that he would make, I was like, man, that was a nice throw. And then, some of the easier throws, the out route, he'll dirt him. So I wasn't enamored with Cam, but I respected his talent. That's the best way I could put it. He wasn't always given the best supporting cast when he was in Carolina. I mean, there were times, for those who don't know, I was living in Carolina the whole time he was a Panther, pretty much. And they didn't give him much, They did not give him a lot of big talent. They did not. They did not give Cam a lot of big talent. But I have grown to since like Cam Newton post NFL playing. Obviously, we're in a space of making content, podcast. So is he, and I can respect his opinion. But one thing that drove me crazy that I saw over the weekend, especially that happened yesterday, was him at a camp that he puts on, and you got adults jumping on him.
Were they adults? Those are some little ass motherfuckers.
Man, because it was a video that surfaced of one of the adults that jumped on him. He was talking crap about Cam the day before, and I guess he had some kind of beef or something with Cam, because Cam does a lot of 7-on-7 tournaments, and he has his team that are pretty damn good that does it. I was just so here's my thing, and it kind of might blur some lines because I know between athletes and us common folk, it's supposed to be some type of barrier, but at the same time they're regular people. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Just these guys just jumping on Cam like that. Like Cam doesn't, say what you want, arrogant, cocky on the football field, but he's always, because I lived in Charlotte the whole time he was there. He was an A1 dude. He always put on charitable events, always put on for, to help and show love. So I just don't see him as that type of guy that, just get in a scuffle. From what I saw of other clips, he really didn't throw any punches. He really was just kind of like wrestling the dudes. They still couldn't get him down.
He ate a few punches though. That kid in the white shirt came flying in and looked like he caught him square.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Nah, that was some sucker shit, man.
And I can't believe not a single fucking person. Cam Newton's not liked when you get beat on by three guys, and even a cop there is just like, "Hey, let's settle down, everybody. Let's relax." Nobody came in. Nobody threw a haymaker. No one clocked any of these little punk bitches. Nobody did anything to help Cam. It was just kind of like, "Go get him. I'm for this." That's what I got by watching the video.
Yeah, which is weird.
We don't like Mel. If Mel was getting jumped by three dudes, I'm swinging like fucking Babe Ruth on people's heads.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I gotta really dislike somebody to not even jump in and help them if I see them outnumbered. One-on-one, handle yours. You get beat, you get beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're down on the ground and you can't fight no more, I'm gonna stop it because I ain't gonna let somebody get kicked in the skull on the ground. But nobody helped Cam. Like,
yeah, that was a weird situation, man.
I watched it 3-4 times from like the different angles and repeatedly watched it to see who's helping him. He's at this event and he don't have friends. He ain't got family. He ain't got boys. He ain't got paid security.
Well, here's one thing that I do know. When he does these events, he does go with a entourage of content creators. His cameraman, his microphone, audio, visual people, because they're there to, help put together just some of the, video packages that he does for his 707 team and for his podcast and all that shit. So I do know that. I don't like what exactly. Obviously, I'm pretty sure more details is going to come out about it. And what happened, who it was, and whatnot. It's just for me personally, when these athletes come to the communities and do things like that, like, can we show just a little bit of ounce of respect? I know you don't have to like the guy, but you jump on him is another thing. Like, Cam didn't have to be there. He took his time out to put on the event and whatnot. If you disliked him that bad, then why'd you even go? That's kind of my thing. If you dislike the guy that bad, why did you even take time to even go to the event? I don't know. It's just
we live in a day and era where any publicity is good publicity. And this dumb fuck generation that we have they're gonna follow these guys now, and these guys are gonna have a podcast. They're gonna talk about this endlessly. They're gonna ride this wave. Yeah, I'll say this. Everything I've said about Cam Newton is right. Motherfucker still can't throw. I didn't see him land one. Where's Melvin Wall at? Going back 2 years, Mel came at me so hard when I said Cam will never win again. I said he can't throw.
I said he can't throw. I mean, it's weird.
Cam, you're 6'5", 6'6". You're fresh out of playing, still trying to get back into the league, right? So you're in physical shape. It looked like a dad wrestling with kids. I know that guy with the white shirt came flying in with a haymaker, and it looked like he caught him. He didn't go down. Like he took it and just kept still slinging the other guys away. So it looked like a kids wrestling with their father. So, but I'm more, like I said, my biggest thing was, man, you're at your event
and nobody
stepped up like and pummeled these dudes. Cam gonna cover you with the law fees if shit gets pressed. Like, you defended him, he gonna cover you. Like, I don't even like Cam. I would just beat up kids just to beat up kids. But nobody liked you.
None.
Nobody said that's my guy. Nobody said, damn, it's 4-on-1.
Yeah. MJ, what's up, brother?
Matt. Rocking it for you today, bro.
Yeah.
Rocking it for you, Matt.
Yeah, MJ in the building. I'm with you. That was just a weird
I need
host.
to hear more. I need to hear.
Oh no, there's definitely going to be more that's going to come out. I'm just more disappointed at the fact that it's just, to me, it seemed like it was unnecessary violence for no reason. But neither here nor there. But let's take it to NFL. There's a hell lot of rumors, man. Okay, let me say this before we do this. You'll enjoy this. Hey, Deion Dawkins, I need you to shut up.
Man, Boobs McGee.
Yeah. No, because the reason why I need him to shut up, because the last 2 times that he has publicly said something, it didn't do anything good for him or his team. So the first thing he said something, he said his little comment about Patrick Mahomes. Oh, you ain't never been here with fans, and this is something different. You ain't never been blah blah blah, and Pat Mahomes proceeds to end your season. Now you're talking to division rivals. You're talking shit to Sauce and Garrett Wilson, and my thing is you can't affect what they do. Deion Dawkins as a left tackle, you can't affect how great of a corner Sauce is. You don't affect how good of a wide receiver Garrett Wilson is. Stop. Why are you giving people bulletin board material in February?
I just like that he's bringing back man boob summer. I've been nervous to take my shirt off by a pool. I'm gonna bring a cardboard cutout of him, put it behind my pool chair, and I'm gonna sit there with my man boobs out and just be like, Deion did it. I'm gonna say this. I know his uncle. His uncle played basketball at Colonia. He's from Rahway, which is the next town over.
Yeah.
Alona, who, my ex-girlfriend for a decade, her brother's best friends with his uncle. She was supposed to go with them all down to the Miami Bills game in Miami, meet him after the game and everything. They went out to dinner. Her nephew did. So I've known Sean, his uncle, for a long time.
Yeah.
I put it out on social media today. I don't care. I know it's going to get back to him. The guy, he's a bitch as a player. If you watch the games, he constantly does cheap little shit after the whistle to aggravate, agitate, and instigate the other team.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to cry now? I don't get it.
Yeah. I never heard of a left tackle being so vocal. And this is not a diss on Deion. I think he's a solid left tackle, but I can't put you in the same atmosphere as Trent Williams and or in the same atmosphere as a right tackle in Lane Johnson, as some of the premier tackles in the game. I can't put you in that atmosphere. I think he's solid, but I don't know. I just don't think his game matches his confidence. And hey, have confidence. I'll never knock nobody's confidence or having the right to be confident. Talk your shit, but you better be elite. You better be elite, and I'm talking about elite. I never heard anybody say that Dawkins was an elite left tackle. I don't know if you have. I haven't. I haven't even heard not one Bills fan say, "Oh man, love Dawkins. He's an elite left tackle."
He's above average. He's serviceable. He's not in the elite category. He's a healthy Mekhi Becton, if you ask me.
Hey, you see him a lot more than I do, But I just never seen him as an elite left tackle. Just it's my personal opinion.
I don't think he is.
So
I just think he's healthy, and he's on a team that goes into the playoffs every year. So
yeah.
I think Trent Brown is better. I think Armstead is better, and that's just in the division. So I think he's serviceable. Like, no one ever says he's one of the best. No one ever puts him in the top 5. He's just a guy who's there every year. He's a Jag. He's just a guy.
He talks like he's a guy. He talks like he's the guy.
He's the guy.
He talks like he's the guy. So I thought that was curious. I'm like, man, you over here giving bulletin board material in February? Like, ooh, pipe down, my boy. But hey, it is what it is. Let's talk a little NFL rumors and things that I've been seeing out there. So I do got to say this. Shout out to the Chiefs. You want to build a dynasty? This is how you do it. They're in the works of giving Big Red a contract extension, him and Andy Reid. So, I mean, hey, you re-sign defensive coordinator Spags. You re-sign the special teams coordinator Dave Toll. You re-sign, and you're about to re-sign Andy Reid. Hey, that's how you do it. You know, keep the coaches around and keep your key players around. So definitely shout out to that.
And Matt. Yeah.
Matt,
that's all I've said on Twitter. That's all I've said. I even commented. I went to Deion Dawkins' page to comment. I'm like, I know you're getting a lot of heat, but I want to tell you I appreciate you. You're making man boobs okay this year by the pool, and I appreciate you for that, sir. Where do we have some great man boobs?
Great New York man boobs.
I'm here with NBC, Fear Factors, Joe Rogan.
Great New York man boobs.
That's my daughter. Well, sir, you have great genetics because you helped make a great pair of New York boobs.
Classic Chappelle.
So
these young kids have no idea, bro.
You do that nowadays, and you're gonna get someone like Deion Dawkins say, "Man, I ain't got boobs."
But so some of the rumors out there that I've been hearing, I've been seeing a lot of Justin Jefferson talk about getting traded. What do you think about that?
He talked himself. He said flat out, I want to stay with Minnesota. I hope they step up and take care of me. But if not, then we'll visit that. Basically saying, yo, step the fuck up and pay me. But if I'm Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook's gone. Danielle Hunter's gone. Kirk Cousins about to be gone.
Oh, you think Kirk is out of there? Wait, hold on. You think Kirk's out of there?
I think Kirk is gone, yeah. I don't think Minnesota goes back. I think they've gotten as far as they can go with Kirk. And eventually you just say, all right, thank you. We like you. We appreciate you. But
I think that's a mistake if they move off.
I think they've gone as far as they can go.
Yeah, but just hear me out on this, Nick. Minnesota. Well, first of all, Kevin Stefanski, not Kevin Stefanski. Kevin O'Connell?
O'Connell, yeah, one of those uber white names.
So Kevin O'Connell's offense, and when I was watching the Netflix series, it doesn't seem like one of those simple offenses that you could just plug in and just pick up easy. So for Kurt to still put up mega numbers, albeit, you still got Justin Jefferson on to throw to, helps. I mean, So what I'm trying to say is, what other quarterback can go into Minnesota right now and improve that team? I just don't see any. I don't see any free agent. I don't see any quarterback in the draft that you could plug in right now in Minnesota and have anything that resembles the type of success that Kirk has. I just don't. I think it'd be a mistake if Minnesota moves off Kirk. And,
I think it could be a mutual decision. If you're Kirk Cousins, you're the Deion Dawkins of quarterbacks. You're never elite. You're always there. But you're not going to win because of that player. Minnesota has been a home field advantage team. They've had some nice regular seasons. They can't win with Kirk Cousins. So I think it's on them to move on. And if you I think you got a good coach. I think you have some okay player talent. I don't think you've drafted as well as you should have. If you could sell off Justin Jefferson and get 2 ones and help build your squad, do it. You're losing Hunter. You lost Cook. You're going to lose Cousins. You might lose Jefferson. You traded Hawkinson. You lost your window. Your window's over. Why are you going to go commit to a $40 million a year quarterback for another 3 years and not win anything? Unless Kirk Cousins just says, hey, I'll stay here. We'll do whatever. Because no one else wants him. Because you're not going to win with Kirk Cousins. So, I don't know. I get what Jefferson's doing. Jets fans are going nuts because we need another receiver. Jefferson rumor. The Jets aren't good enough on offensive line to go trade away 2 ones and then pay this guy $30 million a year when you have Garrett Wilson eligible for an extension next season. What are you going to do? You're then going to let Garrett Wilson go?
Oh, no.
You're not going to keep Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson because you traded for Jefferson and now you don't have the money for your other skills?
Hey, sorry to brush your brother, William J. Nobody wants Daniel Jones.
I'll tell you right now. Clip this. Save this. 22 minutes, 45 seconds in. Action. Justin Jefferson, if he gets traded out of Minnesota, there's one team that should be all in. The Houston Texans. Ooh. You team him up with Stroud. You trade Tank Dell and some picks. And now you got Nico Collins, Noah Brown, Justin Jefferson. There's rumors of Barkley or Pollard or Eckler going to Houston. You got a good defense. You got a good coach who knows his defense, 49er system. You got some nice young pieces on that defense. You go give your young quarterback on the rookie contract everything that he needs to succeed. You go bring in an Eckler and Jefferson. You're telling the entire NFL, we're putting you on notice. We're going for it. We're going for it on the rookie deal.
It's actually not a bad take.
That's exactly who should be all in. That's a team that can afford to go all in because you're not paying your quarterback $50 million. You could pay your receiver quarterback money. You have Stroud and Jefferson for $40 million. You do that. And then if you got to revisit it in 4 years, you revisit it. But I would go 4 years, $30 million. And then that allows Jefferson to be 29 and hit the market again at 29 years old. But that's
actually not a bad take.
That's me. Indy, I don't know. With Anthony Richardson, I don't know. Carolina, no. Washington, no. Quarterback, New England, no. Bears, I don't know if they trade him in division, right?
You don't trade in division. Not just
Packers, another young team. Packers usually don't acquire players. They'll trade them away and just keep retooling.
No, Packers have done a good job of finding good receivers in the draft. So,
yeah. I'm just thinking of teams that are young quarterbacks who can go. All right, Kansas City don't have the money. 49ers don't need it. Seahawks got several good wide receivers. Now a player like Jefferson might say, hey, we'll trade you DK Metcalf and picks. But then you got to sign DK Metcalf to a deal after this year. So it's a very small percentage of teams that would even be in it. But if I'm Houston, I call them up. I talk to them. I don't even call them. I go down the hallway at the combine this week, knock on the door and be like, we are all in if Jefferson is available.
Like, what's up? Yeah.
You don't move him without talking to us. We will top anything you have.
Because if you think about it, I know Houston would have the draft picks you would want. They have the cap. Because even though a second ago I said you wouldn't trade in division, you also got to look at the teams that have the draft picks, the draft capital, and the money that can make this all happen. Chicago's one of them. Houston's one of them.
It would be wild to trade him in division. I thought this.
Yeah, but they traded Hawkinson in division. The Minnesota acquired him from Detroit, so we can't say that it wouldn't happen.
Oh, I know. How about this? Do you trade him for the number 1 pick overall?
Ooh, boy, stop playing. Ooh.
If you're the Bears, you have Fields, you have DJ Moore, you still have the number 9 pick.
Ooh.
You trade for, you call Minnesota up and say, we'll give you the number 1 overall pick, and now you still have your number 11, and we'll give you a 2 next year.
Ooh.
Number 1 overall pick. Minnesota needing a quarterback would have their pick of the litter.
You can change everything that you needed right there.
But you got to weigh it from the Bears' perspective. Do you want the quarterback that bad? And now there's rumors. Here's some of the rumors going around. Let me tie all the rumors together into a bow. Why I'm thinking this. You're the Bears at number 1. You trade. Let's say they do it. Say you trade Justin Jefferson. You get the number 1. You give up the number 1 pick to Minnesota. You get Justin Jefferson. You now have Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. You got Khalil Herbert in the backfield. Yeah. You have still, after you extend Jefferson, you still have one of the top free agency cap room available. You can go get a Barkley. You can go get an Eckler. You can go get a Pollard. You go get someone else. I would go for Barkley if I'm the Bears. If Barkley hits the market, I would go get Barkley. I think Barkley with Herbert is great. You got 2 guys who can catch out of the backfield, helps a quarterback if you're getting a young quarterback. But now if you're the Bears, you have the number 9 pick. You could trade the number 9 pick and Justin Fields to the Patriots, which is a rumor, and then move back up to number 3. So you could finagle one of the most intriguing, interesting, calculated off seasons ever, and have the number 1 and number 9 pick, and trade away the 1 and the 9 and Justin Fields to get the number 3 and Justin Jefferson.
My goodness,
right? So there's a lot to look at that and be like, holy shit, Nick ain't that dumb after all.
No, you're not too shabby. So
I don't know if it happens, but man, that's intriguing.
And this is why I think your scenario could possibly work out, because you named a couple of teams in there. They got some cap space. So this is from U Stadium off of Twitter. They did all the calculations of the cap space after the NFL announced that everybody's pretty much cap space was going to increase to $255 million. So Commanders have 87 million, Patriots with 83 million, Bears with 80 million. So there's 2 teams that you put in that conversation that had the cap space, and because they've been playing so horribly the last few years, they got the draft capital as well. Because I mean, you pretty much trade away all your talent, so you start tanking pretty much without tanking, and that's what you get. You get the Bears with 80 million and the Patriots with 83. So there's some cap space in there. Of course, with the Vikings, they're at 37.8. So if you're talking about Justin Jefferson wants a new contract, Tyreek Hill's at the top of the wide receiver market with 30 million a year. There's pretty much your whole cap space gone right there on Justin Jefferson. So
no, because the way contracts are, we saw Jalen Hurts get a $250 million extension and only count $9 million on the cap this year. So it's not that full $30 million going on the cap. That's not how the contracts work. Well, it used to.
Their structure, yeah.
It used to be like that. Like 90% of your hit was on the cap. But now that the money is so big, your percentage of your bonuses and incentives can be bigger.
Or pretty much how they're structuring it. Like if you're structuring it in sign-in bonus, roster bonuses, and all that other shit, incentives and shit. So no, good point. But it's
like when Drew Bledsoe signed the first $100 million deal for 10 years, $100 million. His number each year was 10. His cap hit was 9 because at the time, like only 10% of it could be. It's the way it's changed so much with what they allow now, with ways of getting these players additional money aside just the cap hit. So it's not like 30 million would come off.
Yeah, I just, oh man, you actually throwing me for a loop because I don't think your scenario is far fetched. I don't really think it is. It'll be. I think it's unprecedented if we see it happens. So I don't think we ever can see a situation like that ever going now. But to your point, we saw AJ Brown get traded during the draft. We saw Lamar Jackson lose his wide receiver the year before, Marquise Brown. He's not as prominent as an AJ Brown or a Justin Jefferson, but we've seen wide receivers move during draft day. And of course, we can't forget, this is probably one of the drafts that are pretty heavy with wide receiver talent as well. So if you got a guy that's wanting so much money and he's going to, have to acquire so much money to keep him, and if you feel like, hey, man, I don't want to be put on that financial strain. I love your talent, but hell, let me get one of these talented young wide receivers way cheaper and let's see what we can do with him, and take that gamble, take that risk. So if I were to put a percentage on it, how much would you feel Justin Jefferson probably gets moved in it during draft?
I think it's before the draft. I think that you could see it before free agency starts, where an agreement comes to terms, like we saw with the Stafford Goff trade.
Ooh.
And then it could happen this week. If he's there opening his mouth and saying it now, that's telling Minnesota, you gotta make the contract offer, or you gotta move him.
Yeah,
you gotta come to terms this week with somebody at the combine.
Yeah, because
we usually don't hear about these things. Tyreek Hill came out of nowhere, right? That was the thing that came very, very quickly. And then it was like,
to be honest about Tyreek, the reason why I knew something was fishy is because right after the playoffs ended, it took them too long to say that they were going to agree on the contract. So I knew something was going to happen eventually. Just with this situation, I don't want to say it's similar to Tyreek's, but it's starting to have some of the same feel, same vibes about it. Season ends, because Tyreek wasn't a free agent. I think he had maybe wanted a year left on his contract, but he wanted a contract extension. He wanted to go ahead and re-up. And so it's almost like the same thing right here where Justin's like, time to re-up. And I can't blame him. I mean, the guy's been phenomenal since he stepped on the field in his rookie year. So, yeah, man, I think that's a real one. Let's kind of hit into the running back market real quick. I know we talked about Saquon for a touch bit, but it's kind of like we started the NFL season talking about running back market, and lo and behold, I think some of the same guys that were in that conversation, they're primarily the same ones that's about to end up in that, whole conundrum. Derrick Henry, Saquon, Tony Pollard, Austin Eckler, all these guys that wanted money or contract extensions, they're looking for a job. So which one do you think one of them fellas actually gets a job first, or probably lands a big deal before everybody else?
I'm not sure any of them get a big deal. Like, what are we saying? Big deal? Because remember last year?
Yeah, last year. Well, nobody.
What do we clarify? Let's clarify it. What's a big deal nowadays?
Well, right now the big deal is sitting at McCaffrey at what, 15, 16?
No one's topping it. Teams are not giving running backs big money anymore. And don't forget, Carolina gave that contract. The Niners just traded for it.
Yeah, they just inherited it. Oof. Well,
I don't think anyone's getting more than $10 million a year. I don't think that teams are going there. They can just draft guys.
I don't see.
You don't spend the money there if you want to win.
No, I mean, the Chiefs have been fucking that up for them for the last 2 years.
Yeah, they've been fucking it up with 2 rings.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you got Pacheco 7th rounder over there being their lead rusher. You're pretty much saying like, hey, we don't need to.
You got Pacheco, you got McKinnon. If you have the right scheme and you have a guy who can play the NFL, a guy who is worthy of being in the NFL, you'll be fine. You don't need to go draft a running back in round 1. You don't need to put all these assets financially. You're better off putting the money into the offensive line. You're better off spending your money elsewhere. You're better off drafting a lineman in the top 10 and then just drafting a running back in the 4th or 5th round, because if your line is better, your running back will be better.
True that. Trench war. Gotta have them trenches right, people.
What are you going to do? A 3-year? I put it this way: I don't think anyone gets more than $12 million annual.
I can see Saquon probably getting 13 or 14. Because think about it, he's relatively.
Who would do that?
I'm just saying, he's 25, 26 years old still,
but he still had an ACL.
And you're not wrong. I'm just saying, like he's the younger of the options out there. Tony Pollard's probably 11 months removed from an ACL injury.
Not very good.
Well, and then in the year he had
moments, but he's just not that consistent. Even with that line, he's not that consistent back. I don't know. Every time I watch Pollard, I'm disappointed. And I get it, they're more of a pass-first team there, so maybe it's just location.
Yeah, but that was the same offense they've been running the whole time he was in Dallas.
I know. He hasn't been overly impressive, in my opinion. That's just not me. That's not me shitting on Dallas. He has nice games. He has nice moments. I don't look at Tony Pollard and say he's a top 7-8 back who deserves to be paid big money.
I'm in agreement with you. I think Tony Pollard is cashing in on a little bit of, quick little flash in his career. I mean, say what you want. Last year, the numbers may not be as exciting as you want them to be, but he missed Zeke. Say what you want, Cowboys fans. He missed Zeke Elliott. Because Zeke took a lot of the punishment that Tony didn't have to run through. And then when you make Tony number 1, you saw what happened. He got hurt last year. He wasn't healthy at all last year. Austin Eckler is just, he only knock I got against him is he got hurt a lot last year and he's closer to 30. Other than that, I love Austin Eckler. Great running back. Good weapon in the backfield that can catch any and everything. He's just a little bit of cheaper version of McCaffrey. Like he can do a lot of things that McCaffrey can do. Maybe not at the same elite level. So that's my only knock at him. He got hurt last year. I think Derrick Henry probably is the only one for sure that I know for a fact is probably in the worst position because he is 30. And he's taken a lot of punishment on that body.
He's going to go be a number 2 somewhere. Like,
yes,
San Francisco. You put him at San Francisco as the guy that you're bringing in for McCaffrey on short yardage downs, goal line situations. I know McCaffrey's good. He got in the end zone 21 times or something this year.
Oh, Lord.
But you take that load off of McCaffrey and let McCaffrey be your weapon and let Henry be your bruiser.
You got a problem.
You're winning the Super Bowl.
Oof.
Because now you're not stopping that.
I think the biggest bag that Derrick Henry could possibly get is probably $8 million. That's as far as I can go paying him.
The Dalvin Cook contract last year.
Yeah.
You give 1 year $6 million. You give incentives. You give touchdown bonus, a yardage bonus. and you just say, hey, if you want to win, this is the offer we'll give you. A team like Philly, pairing him up with Swift, I think a team that wants to go all in goes and gets him.
That's fair. Because
I'll be honest with you, I think he would be a great piece to add next to Breece Hall in New York. I just think we have other needs and bigger needs. And I don't think after last year, Dalvin Cook, we go spend that type of money on a backup running back.
I just think Dalvin Cook wasn't okay. You know me, I wasn't the biggest fan of Hackett.
No.
I just wasn't the biggest fan of Hackett. I just think Hackett he didn't do your offense any type of justice. He didn't give them any type of help. And I get it. You guys were riddled with injuries, but he didn't help with his play calling. He did not help, when it comes to putting the offensive line in the greatest of placements to help, protect whoever was back there at quarterback. I don't think he had the right, route concepts for your receivers. There was too many times where I saw games where your receivers, you had more than one receiver in the same area, and that just didn't make sense. I don't know. Because all of a sudden, Cook goes to Baltimore and he breaks off a couple of good runs.
No, he didn't.
No, in that playoff game.
He had one 19-yard run and then averaged 1.9 the rest of the playoffs.
They didn't use him.
But he averaged 1.9 per carry after that one run.
They did not use him more. I'm saying the moments
that they to use him, he's a third running back now. He doesn't.
Whoa! I'm not going that far.
I am, and that's with Dobbins hurt. So with Dobbins hurt, he's not on the team. Like they don't even sign him. They got Dobbins.
Go that far. Like the man just came off. He's 28 years old. He just came off 4 productive seasons.
His quickness and his agility overnight. The tape doesn't lie. The last year in Minnesota, yes, I know he got 1,000 yards, but he was healthy. If you're a healthy number one running back in the NFL, you should get 1,000 yards. It's 66 yards a game. Even lower now with 17 games. You have 200-yard games, you basically can get 50 yards a game to get to 1,000.
Well, he said he wasn't healthy from what he said, because from what I gathered from him, he wanted to stay in Minnesota. He still was having shoulder problems. And
the film don't lie. Jets fans broke it down ad nauseum. They broke down every carry. He had the lowest in his last year in Minnesota. He had the lowest yards per expectation, meaning the hole's open. You should get this far. You only got this far. He was the only running back in the NFL with negative. It was 0.2 negative, meaning he wasn't getting what anyone else in that situation would get. He was the worst out of 46 qualified running backs on carries. The film don't lie. He was not hitting holes like he used to. The defense was closing in on him quicker than they had before. He was not. Trust me, everyone on Jet Twitter, bro, I call it Twitter too. It's always going to be Twitter. I call it that. Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say how long I sat here with my phone playing before I said, oh shit, I got to open up the computer and get in the StreamYard before he lets me on the show. I'm sitting here in the chair with the phone just playing, watching you do it open. I'm like, oh shit, I got to get on there. I'm embarrassed to say how long. I watched the whole intro video, everything.
MJ says Derrick Henry to Buffalo.
That's another team, right? That needs to go all in. Cincinnati. You bring him to Cincinnati and take the load off of Mixon. Sandy, the Chargers. We know how much Harbaugh loves to run the ball.
I can see him going into the Chargers before any of those other teams. Only because
let's go division by division.
Because I don't think Eckler's coming back to Chargers.
Agreed.
He probably wants to
have
back
someone like round 3, 4, and then you bring in Henry.
Of course, yeah.
The Bills, the Dolphins are built on speed. I don't see the Dolphins doing it.
No,
Patriots aren't win now. I would be shocked if the Jets did it, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets were in on them. You know, and maybe they get priced out because they don't, after last year with Cook and the backup money, they don't want to get burned again by it. Steelers, they're always a run the ball team, right? The Browns, until Chubb gets healthy, you can bring him in there. Cincinnati, I mean, you can go Baltimore again, right? That whole division should be interested. They should kick the tires on them.
Yeah, they should at least.
Indy, they should team them up with Jonathan Taylor. Indy's not a bad place, right?
I don't know. They're almost about the same running style, pretty much, between Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is probably not as big, of course, but they're almost similar, same running style. There's really no
Taylor misses time.
Yes.
So Taylor misses time. Henry's the guy that you want that can step up while and take that 2-3 game load. That's what she said. Instead of being the guy for the whole season. I don't see. I'd be shocked if Jacksonville, right? With ETN, they want more of that speed, but who knows? Like, if you want to get to the next level, and you're Jacksonville, and you won the division, you make the playoffs, but you can't get any further. Take the pressure off Lawrence. I don't see the Chiefs doing it.
No.
I don't see the Broncos. I don't see the Raiders. Don't forget, Josh Jacobs might be available too, so that's another name.
Ooh.
Chargers, I could see doing it. I don't see the Giants doing it. I could see the Cowboys being in on any name, right? The Cowboys love names. If Pollard's gone, you draft a young guy, and then you bring in Henry. Washington, I don't see it. Philly, I can see it. I can't see Minnesota. I could see Green Bay. That would shock me, but if they let Dillon go and you bring in Henry to be
with him and Aaron Jones,
to complement the Jones,
that's not a bad one.
I could see the Bears. I could see the Bears in on it, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be some teams in on Derrick Henry. I just don't see him grabbing that big payday because 3 years ago, I just said, man, you pay Derrick Henry whatever. I don't think you pay him whatever. You have to pay him what you think he's worth to fit your system, to fit your team. And I think he would just have to be happy with it, because there's no way I can just come off a grip of money for Derrick Henry nowadays. So when you start getting closer to 30, you're a big guy that's taking a lot of physical toll. I don't know if I can just come off the bread like I would 3 years ago for Derrick Henry. But
yeah, but I'm talking about as a complimentary piece, not as my guy.
Well, to a certain extent, he's a number one if you grab a running back in the draft still, and you can use him as your first piece of complimentary running back to kind of soften the blow against the D line, and bring in like a speedster or some to that effect. Because on Dallas, I think he's still a number one running back. There's certain teams like that would still use him as a number one running back. So, excuse me. But we'll see what happens, man. It's a lot to talk about. There's one thing that you did hit on the head that you predicted would happen. Bienemy goes to UCLA. You predicted that he should have went to Colorado and be part of Deion's crew in the Big 12. But he goes to UCLA in the Big 10. So,
and unfortunately, that's what you got to do at that time, right? Somebody brought it up. I thought it was our group. I thought somebody brought it up, and they asked why not the NFL. I go, because Washington was so late in the process hiring their coach and then bringing on the offensive coordinator. Every other offensive job in the league was filled already. So you want to stay in the game, you want to go show your creativity, sometimes you get a reset, man. It's better to stay in the game and coach than to get out of the game. The way offenses and plays are evolving, you don't want to let the game pass you by and go sit out for a year or so, and you never know the innovations that'll come in that year, and you're behind the 8 ball.
No, that's fair point. Because I think even when you first had put that take out there that he should go to Colorado, I wasn't even mad at it. I thought it was a good take.
No.
But I think when I'm more,
I mean, he went to school at Colorado too, so like it was like very logical.
Yeah, I think I was more shocked that it actually happened, that he had to wait and go to college.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I think that's more the shock that I was at. It was, he literally has to go to the college game to get a job. And to your point, I mean, Washington literally just filled their coach position 3 weeks ago, with Dan Quinn. Like, they were literally late in the game. All the coaching jobs, they were the last head coach position filled. And so when your head coaching position isn't filled yet, it's not like he can just start, hey, let me sign this offensive head coach and this defensive coordinator. You can't do that, because that just doesn't work like that. The head coach comes in and brings their staff. So
why didn't I just get uber white?
I don't know.
I know whenever I wear a dark shirt, it contrasts.
Did you adjust your light?
I didn't. I shut one of them off, dude. I got 2 of them here. I shut one off. Now watch. I put the hat on, and the contrast is going to make my face like Elmer's glue white.
Yeah, you looking extra mayonnaise right now, bro.
Women know that I'm dark on the inside, baby. And I just mean with my humor. I got some dark.
Lord. I can't.
It was bothering me, so I'm trying to hide and shit. There we go. Even now.
No, I mean, I think I was just more shocked at the fact that he had to go to the college game, man. It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Saban made a good move going to college, right?
Hey, turn him into a legend.
You never know, man. And everyone bitches why he hasn't gotten the opportunity. Why has he gotten the opportunity? I'm a big believer now of whenever a door slams in your face,
another one opens.
God pointing you to the door that you need to walk through. So it's not so much the rejection of it. It's just that maybe you're not supposed to be there. So I don't know.
I think he's.
I mean, I want to see what this guy's got. Like, I want to see him be at the head of the table. If you put him at the head of the table, he goes 1-15. We're like, that's why he never got a fucking job, because he just couldn't be that guy. Yeah. He's Robin. He's not meant to be Batman. There's no problem with being Robin. Dick LeBeau made a whole fucking career out of being Robin.
Yeah, 40 plus years in D coordinator.
There's been Robin. He wasn't good as Batman, but he's fucking elite as Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's meant to be at the head of the table, and that's okay.
Yeah. You still got to get.
Basketball player, Bronny, is meant to score 2 points a game. Someone's just going to score 1.6 and try to go to the NBA on their name.
Oh, man.
Oh, I got a good question for you. I
God.
never bring up basketball. This is a future prediction question for you. Who is out of the NBA sooner, Bronny or LeBron?
Yo, you wow for that.
Someone's going to draft them just to get LeBron.
Oh yeah, somebody's going
to ticket sales, right, and the whole and pomp and circumstance. But the day LeBron retires, they're going to be like, "Yo, we're cutting you too. Go with your dad. You're done."
Hey, so speaking of LeBron, I gotta go off a little bit.
Go with your dad stuff.
I am so sick of these.
I thought Mel should have been here. I pointed up. I'm like, go on. I've said it. Go on.
So this motherfucker LeBron is. So you know how much time they get off in the All-Star weekend, right?
You went off on that last Thursday.
I'm just pissed the fuck off. Like this guy literally took that Thursday off. First of all, the Lakers didn't play that Thursday, the final game leading up to All-Star weekend. They had Friday off, had Saturday off. You played 14 minutes in the All-Star game just so you can get your record of most All-Star game appearances with 20. Then you have Monday off, Tuesday off, Wednesday off, and you didn't play on Thursday? Oh my gosh. I'm done with LeBron, man. I'm done with him. I'm done with him as and I mean that as in I'm done with him being part of my team. I'm a Lakers fan. I never wanted him on the team. I made that clear when they made the trade. I made that perfectly clear. So all you Lakers fans can come at me. I don't give a damn. Fact of the matter is you look at what he's done since he's been there. It's been missed playoffs, left and right. It's been literally, but take away that bubble championship. Well, what do you got? You literally got a whole bunch of years worth of nothing. And don't sit here and, oh, well, he's 39. What do you expect to do? No, we're not going to use his age against him in this situation, because every time I use his age against him, I'm like, oh, man, no, you can't use that because look what he's still doing at 39. Look how astonishing that is. No, you can't pick and choose when to use his age as in a positive take or a negative take. You either got to use it and use it consistently or don't use it at all. But you can't pick and choose when it matters about his age and it doesn't matter. Like, you can't be inconsistent with that. Oh, the Lakers are down. Oh, come on, man. Like, the fact of the matter is this dude is literally been cherry picking since he's been wearing a Lakers uniform. Been cherry picking.
I'm not making any comment or agreement of anything of a black man picking anything, whether it be cherry. I'm not. I do not agree with the sentiment. I want it on the record. I am not nodding in agreement. I am shaking my head. No. I'm just saying this. No, we are not going that route, Lamar. I am not taking that bait. This
motherfucker LeBron is picking and choosing.
Where's that as welcome, right? Like,
LeBron, thank you.
It's amazing he's been with one woman, because as a player, he's what Derek Jeter was with women. It took him forever. Jeter didn't get married till he was done with his career. Because when he was in the league, he was like, yo, I'm going to be a player, man. I'm going to play. LeBron's been the opposite. He's been with one woman the whole time, but can't commit
to a team.
Maybe he's got some girls on the side that signed the non-disclosure and he got to get out of town before shit gets hot.
Hey, I'm waiting for it. I know there's some, for a guy that has been squeaky clean, there's no way he's been that squeaky clean.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no, and I'm not saying LeBron's a shitbag.
He is. AP as a human being. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to open this. As a human being, he wants to do decent things, but when he opens his mouth about politics, he's so far off. And then I know we're not supposed to get into that, and I'm sorry for saying it, but he does a lot of good thing for youth.
Yes.
Whenever he opens his mouth politically, it's like, dude, you're out of your element. You sound so off, and it's just a typical rich person thinking that that's the right thing to do. But,
he has billionaire syndrome. You know what billionaires do? I'm a billionaire. I can speak on everything. That's a billionaire syndrome. Obviously, we don't have that problem, but the fact of the matter is we've seen that from time and time again. And I'm with you. I wish certain billionaires would just shut the fuck up. Because I'm not trying to hear anything you have to say about, society and how hard it is. There's nothing hard about counting those billions in your check, in your bank account. There's nothing hard about your life. There is not a such thing as struggle in your life. I'm not trying to hear that shit at all. So you can't talk about problems that you can't relate to. So don't get me wrong. Okay, LeBron didn't grow up in humble beginnings. He didn't grow up to be when he was growing up, he wasn't a billionaire. I understand that. He comes from humble beginnings. He comes from the same background Me and you do, Nick. I understand that. But you are so far removed from that. You are so far removed from that. Like from the humble beginnings you used to have 30 years ago. You're so far removed from that shit. So I don't know. Stick. I'm not saying I'm not gonna go that far as and shut up and dribble. All I'm going to say is, if you're going to speak, be informed. Just be informed before you open that mouth, because you got all the riches in the world to be very informed on a lot of things. Sometimes I think he's off, but yeah, as a human being, I respect him, man, because he does a lot in the communities back in Akron where he grew up. He does a lot for charities in the cities that he's played in. So I respect that as a human being that he is. Just the basketball guy, you said it best. He's worn out his welcome. I'm fed up about it. And you're right. There's going to be a team that's going to, hey, if we bring in Bronny, let's get his pops. Let's sell some tickets. It'll be a circus. Oh Lord, it'll be a damn circus, man. Hey, I'm with you, AP. He said, I don't trust LeBron. You right, ain't nobody clean. I guess we'll find out when he retires, because when he retires or announces it, that's when the shit really hits the fan and all the allegations come out. And you know what the first allegation is? Steroids. That's gonna be the first thing they're gonna look at. I'm telling you, ain't no way this guy stayed in peak condition this long. And it's going to get even worse because he's only like 74 points away from 40,000.
We know he ain't taking HGH because we've seen the hairline.
Ain't nothing growing on that shit.
You shouldn't, LeBron. You shouldn't stop the game for any other accomplishment. Like, that's it. It's done.
I don't know, but
you don't stop for hitting a plateau that no one's hit before. The plateau is passing Kareem. That's it. Done. I mean, we should just stop the game because the NBA is shit. So
you get no argument from me on that, bro. So
AP, real quick while I got you here, I'm going to be running an NCAA tournament bracket, but it's not a bracket. It's a pool, not a bracket. Forgive me. You're going to pick one team from each region. You can only pick one number one seed. And whatever seed they are, you get that amount of points every time they win. You get 20 points if you pick the title winner. So if you pick a 4 seed, you get 4 points every time they win. So
it's so funny. It's so funny. We were talking about Bron and Bronny. Alert just popped up on my phone. LeBron's tired of critics ripping Bronny's draft stock.
What stock? There are almost 1,000 Division I players averaging more points per game than him.
But it's not just even the stats. Okay. I'm trying to be nice about it.
You don't have to. Our job is to fucking talk about and assess talent.
Okay.
You take his name away, nobody fucking knows about this kid. It's the name that's being sold. It's LeBron walking in on the national anthem with his hat on and sitting down. That's got more hype than any fucking thing Bronny did on the court.
And I'm not mad at your take. I actually think you're spot on. My thing is Bronny's not even the best son that he has. I think his son Bryce is better than Bronny. His son Bryce is actually going to do something. He's going to be a problem. Bryce got game. He's in. I think he's a junior at Sierra Canyon. He got game. Bronny's not even the better of the sons, and it's not a diss on Bronny. So here's another instance where I'm just LeBron. Why are you mad at people who are draft experts who've done this job and they've evaluated talent years in and years out? They're not going to treat your son different just because he's Bronny Jr. Fact of the matter is even when I put on the channel to watch USC play, Bronny doesn't stick out. That's the fact. Bronny doesn't stick out. You take away James on the back of the jersey, he's a Jag. He's just another guy in a basketball uniform. Get mad, LeBron. I don't give a damn. Is Bronny going to make it to the NBA? Yeah, he's going to make it to the NBA. But I don't think it's because of actual basketball skills. I think it's a combination of the fact that, of course, you have a well-known billionaire dollar dad who has had a stranglehold on how the NBA operates over the last 10, 15 years for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why Adam Silver thinks that he needs to have the end-all, be-all in Bron. I don't get it. The fact of the matter is, Bronny is not that. There's other guys in the draft that are going to be talented than him. More talent. Bronny will not go number one overall. He's not number one overall talent.
You might not even go. You shouldn't go around one. It's no one is drafting him as somebody who will help their team win. It is going to be the shittiest market with the shittiest ticket sales. It'll be the Knicks.
Oh my God!
The Knicks have never been able to get LeBron. How will they do it? This is how they'll do it. LeBron has never voluntarily wanted to go to New York.
Stop.
This is how they'll do it. This is how they'll get a LeBron that's too old. They'll draft LeBron. Or Brooklyn. It'll be or Chicago. It'll be a market that either wants to capitalize on the finale or could never get LeBron and now say, gotcha, bitch.
But we talked about this on the Man Cave Sports podcast. I think he's going to the Wizards. Because that's the only way you can revitalize ticket sales and revitalize that market. Hey, like you said, it's got to be a dumpster fire of a team.
And he's got shitty political takes, so it's perfect. LeBron will be the Mannings times a million. Not be my son will not go there if you draft him. That will be what they do. He will say these are teams I'm interested in playing in, and these are the only teams that can draft Bronny. He will be such a cunt when it comes to this.
We just got to call it what it is. This is the biggest damn example of nepotism I've ever seen.
I hope nobody drafts him. I hope to God that the whole league just says this kid is not.
But you know nobody. You know somebody's.
How are you doing that as a GM though? How are you going to even take a kid if he can't declare this year? 1.8 or 1.6 a game. You can't declare that.
He shouldn't.
You should be fired as a GM if you draft this player.
Oh yeah.
You should be.
That's what I'm saying. This is the biggest form of nepotism I've ever seen because he's going to get in the league with some trash ass numbers.
You could argue he's not even good enough to be a Division I talent.
Okay, I'm not ready to go that far. And what I will say,
less than a bucket a game, he's averaging a free throw plus a game.
Yeah, but I'm saying take
in
away
a
the
day and era where open shots are always there in NBA and college.
I know what you're
saying. You are averaging a free throw plus a game. You can't even get a bucket a game.
Okay, so what I'm saying is Bronny Jr. has enough skills to play D1. He does. He now playing D1 and being drafted number one overall are two different things. He does not have number one overall talent. He does not have.
He's not a draftable player at this point. He is a college.
I agree.
He's a college developmental player.
He needs to stay
somebody that to look at. Okay, next year I should try to average 5 a game. Junior year, maybe I'm up around 9 or 10. Senior year, maybe I could push for 15. That's where he's at.
He's definitely not a one and done player. All right. That's for sure.
1 point and then he's done.
Well, he's not a one and done player. Look, I'm with you. He needs to stay in college for at least 2 more years.
This would be the equivalent of drafting Derek Jeter's son, who got one hit, who'd be hitting 90. If you're hitting less than 100, I think that's a basketball equivalent to scoring less than a basket a game, right?
Yeah.
So if Derek Jeter's son, not that he has one, but I'm just using a player as an example. If you're hitting no home runs, you're hitting .097, you're making errors in the field, you're not a draftable player.
No,
you have to work on your craft for anyone to take you seriously. So it's a dog and pony show. It's bullshit. It's like the discussion is even not worth having, because you're doing the kid a disservice, because you're going to put him in a position where he won't be able to succeed. He'll be a G League player for life. He'll be someone who won't need money, but will always be trying to chase. Like if Michael Jordan's son was closer to the age, he went to college. He was never a draftable player, right?
No.
And that's what everyone always said. This kid is worse than Jordan's son was in college.
Yeah, because Jordan's son was terrible.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, put up that latest comment by Anthony. Well, now LeBron could go over there with his sweatshop workers, and everyone, it's a win-win.
You know, Nike has sweatshops over there, so
yeah, and LeBron could be the CEO, the China endorsed officer.
Well,
I don't like basketball enough.
Well, I'm just not sold on the fact that you know, Bron's over here trying to make a fuss that talent evaluators are not calling his son a top pick. It's okay, bro. He's not. And my thing is, you as a father should be well informed enough to say, hey man, I understand your deficiencies. How about we work on them? And it's okay if you stay in college 2 more years to get better. Because like I said, his other son Bryce got better game than him. His other son Bryce is going to be a problem. Yeah, Bronny, he's a project. He got a lot of work. He got a lot of things to work on to better his game. And rushing him to the NBA is not the answer to it. And I'm telling you, it'll be the biggest form of nepotism if he gets into the league and gets drafted high after this season, because it's just not looking good. Anyway, man, you got the Yankees gear on today, man. Spring training kicked off last week, going into the weekend and things like that, man. You excited, bro?
No, because there's 2 things in life that I don't want to see. Cock and balls and ass. And these uniforms are so see-through and so cheap. Have you seen
bro?
They're see-through.
No, fucking major pause, dog. Because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Pictures came out. If you go to KFC Barstool, there's a picture of one of the San Francisco Giants guys sitting on with the bat on his shoulders, sitting on a box, and you see his balls are clearly visible. If he went missing, America could draw what they look like and identify him. The backs are see-through. A lot of these guys don't wear underwear. They put the jock strap on and that's it.
Yeah. And they got the cup.
The names are cheap. Now, people are bitching at Fanatics and saying Nike's cheap. Nike designed the uniforms.
I was about to
say logo on it.
Nike has a contract, don't they?
Here's where Nike went cheap. Nike designed them. It's Nike's logo. Fanatics is manufacturing them. So that's where Fanatics comes in with it. The names on the back, they're like it looks like the shit you buy at a dollar store to put happy birthday on a cake. It's thin little cheap ass wax looking letters. It's bad.
Yeah, because I heard they not
put it this way. Bronny's points per game is more impressive than the baseball uniforms. That's how bad they are.
That's not good.
They're undraftable.
No, some of them guys want to draft though. You know, gotta air them out. I'm just I don't know, man. For Nike to be $1 billion manufacturing company, I'm kind of shocked that they just you know, got the players showing all their family jewels in the uniforms. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. Why did they even change them from the pants from last year?
I've watched as much baseball as I have WNBA the last couple of years. I watch baseball when I'm tired and I want to go to sleep. You've heard me say it before. Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill have put me to sleep more than my mother did when I was a baby. As soon as I put Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill on a Yankee game, I'm out. It's better than melatonin.
Damn.
I can't stay up for baseball anymore. It doesn't excite me. There's no action. It's guys just swinging for the fences. You know, all the shit that I've said about it. Like, I don't know. I can't find myself intrigued by this game. I know I'm sitting here wearing Yankee shit today, but I'm washing my Jet stuff. You heard the dryer buzzer go off before.
Wait a minute. He's only wearing his Yankee shit because he had to wash his Jet shit. Hey, man, come on, man. You gotta be more excited about spring training, man. Come on.
I'm not. Hey, I keep asking every Yankee fan I see.
Now you gotta go out.
Am I wrong for not being excited about Soto? Like, I look at Soto's number. Well, he'll hit a lot in that stadium. He always walks and get on base. All right, Brett Gardner walked and got on base a lot. Doesn't mean that he's fucking best player in baseball. I don't know how I have a different value of what the best player in baseball should be. I grew up watching Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
I want a guy hitting 330 with 50 home runs playing Gold Glove center field. I grew up watching Derek Jeter. I want to see a guy who knows how to hit and can be a situational hitter, not a guy who's always trying to swing for the fences.
Striking out a lot.
I grew up watching that Yankees team in the 90s, and they knew how to hit. They knew how to hit behind the runner. They knew how to drive the ball the opposite way in the gap. And if you made a mistake, they could put it in the bleachers. Tino, Bernie, Paul O'Neill, Jeter. They other guys are just professional hitters. You don't see that anymore. And it's not like the old guy saying bah humbug, but I could watch a home run derby if I just want to see home runs. I want to watch you play baseball. I don't want to watch you just hit home runs.
No, I get you.
And that's what the game's turned into. So it's not exciting for me. I can't until I see special teamer. All right. The Lions just agreed to extend their special teamer, Jalen Reeves Maben.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, he's their all-pro or Pro Bowl special team guy.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about.
What's up?
So you remember Matt Ariza, right? The punter that got drafted by Buffalo.
Punt guy.
Yeah, punt guy. Had his little situation. Got accused of sexual assault. It turned out that he wasn't there when it happened, even though he did say he had consensual sex where he wasn't involved with the actual sexual assault.
Didn't she lie about her age too and say she was older?
Yes. Not only that,
the ultimate clickbait.
She sued him, put him on a civil suit, and his lawyers argued to get him dropped from the suit. So he was dropped from the suit. But as all this was happening, I think the Bills drafted him in what, third or fourth round or something like that. It was relatively high.
It was early because he holds the record for average yards per punt, I think, in college history.
Yeah.
I know he's a fucking chief now. Not that you guys punt, but
no, but the reason why I asked you that is just because You know, I mean, on Chiefs Twitter, man, they're going crazy. It's literally splitting the Chiefs fan base in half. Some are they're like, hey, it is what it is, and some are like, ah, I'm disgusted. How dare we sign people like this? And I'm just like, when are we as fans? When did we become the moral police? And the reason why I ask that is because, I mean, I can name a shit ton of players that have had issues on a Chiefs uniform. I mean, you could probably go to every NFL team and probably point out a shit ton of guys that have had issues. You know what I'm saying? On every NFL team, there's 32 teams. I'm willing to bet on every 32 teams, there's at least a handful of guys that have had some type of off the field issue shit. Like, when did we become moral police as fans? Like, this shit's crazy. I'm like,
the internet. That's all it is. It's the internet. And people are so stubborn and so pig-headed and so fucking dense that they make up their minds on something the second they hear about it, and they have to tweet their opinion instantaneously rather than wait and find out the facts. They don't want to find out the facts. They don't want to hear everything was cleared. He wasn't there. There's proof. No, I made up my mind already. I'm standing on my moral high ground. I'll die on this hill. Die. I don't care. Die.
Nick, some of these Chiefs fans are treating him like he's Deshaun Watson, bro.
And the Jets brought him in for an interview like last year.
Yeah.
And there was that same exact shit. There was that same exact shit. It'll be fine until he fucking pins the Chargers inside the 5 from like a 72-yard punt.
Thank you.
And then all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, all right. Oh, okay. I understand now.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because
I always say the truth, man. You might not like it, but I say it.
Because fact of the matter is people play this moral high ground. Because here's the funny thing about some of these people in the Chiefs fan base that are upset about Matt Araiza getting signed. They forget that Tyreek Hill was off everybody's draft board because of his situations in college. He got in trouble in college. Domestic violence situations. He was off a shit ton of draft boards because of that situations. Matter of fact, it got so bad, he got kicked out of Oklahoma State. He had to go to another school to get another chance. Who was the only coach that gave him a chance? Yes, it was Andy Reid. He was off everybody's draft board. They didn't care how talented potential he had. He was off draft boards. Mike Vick got second chance from Andy Reid. And Andy Reid has given multiple players second chances, and they've done the most of them. But we can't play this moral high ground now, pick and choose, because he's a punter. He got acquitted. He got dropped from a suit. The evidence said that it wasn't him. Like, even people that get mad about the Deshaun Watson situation, he got acquitted. He didn't get acquitted. They didn't bring up criminal charges because there wasn't enough evidence. Like we can't pick and choose when to play more high ground as fans, as if our shit don't stink. When I'm willing to bet, it's a lot of motherfuckers on this goddamn Twitter thing tapping their fingers, got so many damn skeletons in their damn closet. You would be ashamed if your shit got aired out. But you got the nerve to talk about these athletes.
I'll say this. Who cares about public opinion? Because there are still people out there who think OJ didn't do it.
I hate
wrong.
Oh,
there was a jury that had all that evidence and said, "Nah." So,
I just hate these people playing more high grounds, and you're
the worst people in the world, man. It's the people who touch kids and work in a church. There's always people who pretend to be holier than thou, higher than thou, like you said, who got more skeletons, and some of them actually have skeletons in their fucking homes or yards. So the people who scream the loudest are usually the ones who hate the person in the mirror and look to shit down upon anyone else in society to feel better about themselves with how flawed they are as a human being. There's your deep thoughts by Nick Shine.
Yeah, I mean, you fans, look, nobody's perfect. And
wait, bro. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that there are people out there who shit on people to feel better about themselves, as I'm shitting on like half of the country.
Oh man. AP's stupid. He said, I don't care if you robbed a bank. If you talented and run a 4.2, I'm drafting you.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron Hernandez got drafted and got paid an extension before all that shit came out. Just remember that. Just remember that. So you can't say that people didn't know about his certain character flaws that was there. Because those same character flaws that turned him into the person that he was after he got the contract extension and after he got drafted, I'm willing to bet the same character flaws was already there before he got drafted. So I'm just, here's my thing. You can't be on such a moral high ground and you still watch the product. You still got the season tickets. You still going to the games. You still buying the merchandise. You still tweeting about the team. I'm irritated with that shit. Don't have this moral high ground, but you continue to consume the product. If you're that offended, don't watch it. Don't consume it. But you can't be a hypocrite and keep consuming the product. And now all of a sudden you want to play moral police. Oh, we shouldn't have signed him. He's bad people. He's a horrible person. Stupid, man. Anyway. You want to go through a quick mock real quick before we get up out of here?
I can. If you got to go, will you save it for Thursday? It's
No. I'm just saying, like, we got about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Let me wet the palate. I'm a little parched after torturing half of America.
Fucking fake ass moral high police motherfuckers.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Don't even get me started. I'll go down a road.
I was about to say, like, nah.
You saw the deep breath of, oh, fuck this. Like, that's my, oh, fuck this. Don't even do it.
I saw your brain trembling, like, oop, there it goes.
The woke mob. There's people who protest violence with violence. Like, what the fuck? It's just people don't think logically and apply rationale to their life.
Yeah.
I'm not. It took me 44 years to do it, so I'm new to the game. So I'm kind of bragging about it. Like,
yeah, but
I'm like a kid who the first time he could jump into the deep end, like off the diving board, and not be scared. I'm like, oh, look at me, I can now do this.
Well, what it is I think there's just a slight generational difference in between. Obviously, we didn't grow up in the social media world. You know, we're still trying to figure it out. You know, to a certain degree. So I don't know. It's weird.
All right, here we go. This is No Trades pre-combine. Nick Shine I.O.W. Sports 1.0 mock draft. As of today, I got Caleb Williams, number 1 to the Bears. AP, number 2. Even though he went to North Carolina. Fuck Drake May. I got Jaden Daniels, who will be the best quarterback out of this entire class, going to Washington.
Oh, you're going Jaden over Drake?
I am. I'm going Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year.
Whoa! Now you're talking.
I think Jaden Daniels is going to be the best quarterback in this class. I do. He could be the Lamar of this draft. Lamar didn't go first. He went the end of round 1. 4 quarterbacks went before him. I think Washington, if you break down the film and see what he can do, and if you can use his legs as a weapon early until the passing game develops, you have a weapon. And I think the passing game is good enough to develop in the NFL. I really think it is. I got Patriots taking Drake May at 3. I got the Cardinals in the best case scenario for them not moving, and Marvin Harrison Jr. falls to them. They got Trey McBride, a nice receiver or tight end that they were feeding the ball to, and now you get one of the best receivers to come out. You're giving Murray every chance to succeed. You're building up that offense. Number 5 with the Chargers. God bless you. Keenan Allen could leave. Mike Williams is always hurt. Quentin Johnston hasn't really been there.
Yeah.
I know people have talked about Brock Bowers going here, but I think you can't pass on Malik Neighbors.
Really?
Yeah. 6 with the Giants. They need weapons.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a quarterback worth taking here at 6. I think the Giants could be a team to trade down. I don't see taking another offensive lineman. Yeah, AP. He doesn't need to work out. Harrison don't need to work out. Caleb Williams doesn't need to throw.
Nope, he's not.
I mean, these guys are solidified as number 1 at their spot, I believe.
Yeah, they're pretty much
no reason to. You do the interviews, but you don't have to work out. The Giants at 6, if they keep this, like I said, no trades here, because then you could justify everybody making a trade. It gets a little nutty. You wait till you get closer to the draft to do realistic trades when you start hearing the rumors. Romo Dunze. So 3 wide receivers in a row come off the board for a team. In a league now where these rookies hit the league and contribute immediately, it's no more top wide receivers going for 700 yards as a rookie. These guys are putting up serious numbers right away.
Yeah, they're producing.
I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I don't believe in Daniel Jones at all. I just think financially the Giants ride him one more year, have another shitty year, and then next year or the year after you can go all in for somebody.
Damn.
So go build up the best amount of weapons you can get. Build up your offense so that whenever you get your quarterback, you can come in and succeed right away. Number 7, Tennessee, they get blessed by staying there, and they get Joe Alt. The Bible Belt gets the kid from the Christian college. College. 8 with Atlanta, same thing. Like the top of this draft is so offense heavy. Players that usually would get drafted in the top 5 or 6, cornerbacks. We saw Stingley and Sauce go one year, followed by Thibodeau.
Yeah,
we've seen Myles Garrett, Bosa, Quinnen Williams, guys go early.
Yeah, they're going to go on the team.
And now you're staying at 8 and you're getting your pick of the first edge. I got Atlanta taking Dallas Turner, the edge from Alabama. 9 with the Bears. You got Caleb Williams. You got DJ Moore. You could have Barkley possibly or another top running back in free agency. Go get Brock Bowers.
Ooh.
And now you've got Cole Kmet and Brock Bowers with a young quarterback. They always say, what's a young quarterback's best friend?
Yeah,
a run game and tight ends. Go get 2 tight ends who are very good weapons in the pass game. And let's be real, Bowers I could talk about for hours. I wasn't meaning to drop a rhyme like that on you. I apologize. I didn't mean to tell that shit, but sometimes it just flows, you know?
I didn't even notice it until you said it.
But Bowers is not a tight end. You're not drafting a Anthony Becht or a Kyle Brady or like a big blocking tight end. Bowers is a guy who can get you yak. Bowers is a guy who's this mismatch. You got Moore, you got Bowers. You go spend money and get another receiver. You're giving Caleb Williams all the tools he needs to succeed right away. I hate this pick for the Jets at 10, but I don't think this is the pick. But right now, to me, he's the best player available, and it's Olu Fashanu, the tackle from Penn State. I ideally think the Jets would trade down if this scenario presented itself to somebody wanted to come up for a quarterback, a cornerback. To be at number 10 nowadays, the cornerbacks in this class are good. You're going to see 5 of them go off the board probably in the first half, in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So at 10, you could see teams start chomping, saying, all right, now we could jump. And the Jets could trade back, recoup the 2 that they gave up for Rodgers. But right now, I'll take Fashanu. But Fashanu might have the highest ceiling of any of these tackles, but not be – he's still a little raw, so he might not be the best right away. And in a year that you're going all in with Aaron Rodgers, you might need a guy who's more day one ready. 11 at Minnesota. I know they got a lot going on. They're losing Hunter. So I have them taking Jared Verse from Florida State. He's a big physical edge. Can get to the quarterback, can play the run, high motor. Reminds me a lot of Jermaine Johnson, the Jets guy from Florida State. 12, the Broncos stay home. They take J.J. McCarthy, quarterback from Michigan. Raiders at 13. I think the Raiders could be a place where Kirk Cousins goes. So they could lose Josh Jacobs. They still got Adams. So go build up that line. Go to veteran quarterback in there. I got them taking Talise Fuanga, the tackle from Oregon State, who Jets fans are drooling over right now.
Y'all need tackle help.
You know me. I don't like to play to what the masses are doing. So fuck everybody.
But be honest, you need some tackle help. You need some help on that line.
Correct, but I'm not one to go. I like to go against the grain. And if everyone is saying that guy, I'm going to pick someone else just to be different.
Yeah, which is understandable.
That's me.
We going to love you.
The Saints at number 14. They need help a lot of places, but you go get a kid, play D tackle, you put him in the middle of your defense, Byron Murphy. Whenever the Saints have been good, they've had good bodies up front, right? Yeah,
they just restructured Derek Carr's deal too.
Yeah, they'll make some moves. They're going to have to restructure a lot with how far they're over. Look for Mike Thomas to possibly get cut. 15, the Colts. Colts need they've been small for years on defense, right? And whenever you get them in a game, you can manhandle them up front. Go get a guy that could do some manhandling himself. D lineman from Iowa, Jerzon Newton. 16, Seahawks. I got the Seahawks going and doing what the Seahawks should be doing, building the trenches up. I got them taking Jackson Powers Johnson, All-American center from Oregon.
Oh, that guy's a road grader, bro.
They drafted a kid 2 years ago. Cross?
Yeah.
Charles Cross from Mississippi State. They drafted him. Go build the line. You've done a good job building your D-line. Go build your offensive line now. You want to win in the division. How do you win the division? You got to be able to dominate in the trenches and beat the 49ers and the Rams.
Big facts.
17, the Jaguars. I know they could use some help. They just got rid of, they're expected to cut Cam Robinson. But I got them taking the top corner in the draft at 17, which is wild. Terrion Arnold from Alabama. 18, the Bengals. I know they can use a tight end with Bowers. They could be a team that could trade up for Bowers. I got them taking J.C. Latham, who is a guy that Jets fans want also. He is a physical mauler, badass. He's a guy you want on your team because he ain't going to take no shit and he's going to throw people around. This could be the guy that I land on by draft day for the Jets at 10. But I got the Bengals taking him. 19, the Rams, who have a first-round pick since the first time. This is the first time since I've known you that I have ever mocked a Rams first-round pick. This is a historical moment on the I.O.W.
No, for real. Isn't this their first-round pick since Jared Goff? Yeah, that's wild, bro. At least they got a Super Bowl out of
it. Yeah. Bucking the trend, right?
Yeah. At least they got a Super Bowl out of it.
So, I know they got some nice weapons. They got Kyrie Williams that they got in the 5th. They got Puka Nacua, and they got Cup. They still got Stafford, who can still throw the ball with anybody. You lost Ramsey, so I got them taking Cooper DeJean, cornerback of Iowa. Yeah. 20 with the Steelers, with the center being off the board. And I think the Steelers are a team that could jump up to go get the guy of their choice and go get that next great Steelers center. So I think the kid from Oregon, if he's there, the Steelers jump on him, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers say we got to move up and get him. He's going to be what we need long term. But here I got them taking cornerback from Clemson, Nate Wiggins. I don't think they're good enough on the back end. They took Porter last year in the first round, who showed some promise as a corner, but I don't think he's your number one corner. I think you need to go get a number one corner. Dolphins at 21 from Washington, tackle Troy Fatanu. Dolphins have to keep Tua upright. If they're going to be able to do what they want and run the routes that they want, they got to get better up front. 22, the Eagles. Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback from Alabama. And this is where you see playoff teams now getting some of the elite corners in the 20s because of the offensive run earlier in the draft. 23 is the Texans. I got them taking wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. That played for the Jets. If the Jets trade back, that's somebody I'd keep an eye on. I think his size and aggressive catching make him a great complement to Garrett Wilson. 24, I got the Dallas Cowboys taking, a guy who's going to climb the charts, I think, especially after this week and then the pro days. Center from West Virginia, Zach Frazier. He screams Dallas Cowboy lineman. He's technically sound. He's strong. He's a bull. He's agile. He's a center version of what Zach Martin was coming out. He's very, very good. He's a guy that you can plug in from day one, and you know you got your center for the next decade. 25, the Packers. Packers, like you said earlier, have done a very good job with finding offense. I think they got to have this guy fall to 25 is a shock because he's a top 10 talent. Latu, the edge from UCLA. 26, Tampa Bay. They got a lot of holes. They could lose Baker Mayfield. They could lose Mike Evans. They're losing a lot of people. They just cut Winfield. But
wait, they cut Winfield?
I think Winfield. Did they cut Winfield?
I hope not.
Or he's a free agent, I think.
Okay. I was about to say, I was like, whoa, right. When did this news come?
All right. My fault. Cornerback from Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell. Oh, excuse me. 27, the Cardinals. They drafted Paris Johnson from Ohio State 2 years ago and put him at right tackle. This kid from Georgia, Amarius Mims, he's only played 8 games in college, but athletically is super talented. He's a guy that if you could develop and get him the experience, he can be very, very good at tackle. I don't think he lasts this long. His RAS score, the relative athletic score, Joe Douglas for the Jets, his tell on who he's going to draft is he always drafts guys with high RAS. So I don't think he falls to 27, but if guys climb, other guys fall.
Yeah.
28, Buffalo. I got them taking Georgia wide receiver Lad McConkey. I think it's somebody that you can put in the slot and somebody you can find holes in the defense, holes in the zone like the Jets play. And I think he's a very savvy, wise beyond his years wide receiver with a lot of good quickness and somebody who will be good to help out Josh Allen when you don't want Josh holding the ball longer as he gets older. 29 for the Lions. Lions add to one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in football. They take Graham Barton from Duke, who's listed as a tackle, but is expected to transition to a guard in the NFL. 30 at the Ravens. I mean, if 3 first-round wide receivers isn't enough for Lamar Jackson to get to the Super Bowl, let's add a 4th. We give him Troy Franklin, wide receiver from Oregon. It'd be a nice compliment next to Zay Flowers. 31, the 49ers. Their line isn't what it was 2-3 years ago. They've lost some guys to free agency due to how well they do drafting. They find another gem late in the first round, Tyler Guyton, tackle from Oklahoma. And the Chiefs at 32. hopefully have to take a defensive tackle to replace Chris Jones.
I hope not.
Future
Lord.
New York Jet, Chris Jones playing next to Quinnen. I got the Chiefs taking Adonai Mitchell, a wide receiver from Texas. I know they could be in business for a tackle. Their tackles weren't too good.
Yeah, they'll probably replace
you, whose name I can't say. Samilatu or something.
Your guess is just as good as mine, bro.
Did Valdez Scantling get a multiple year deal? Or was that a 1 year deal to go to KC?
Well, he's on his last year of his 3-year deal, but I think he's a
Has it been 3 years already?
Yeah, because his cap hits $12 million, and I think he gets cut.
Oh, he would be coming up on year 3. He was a chief for 2. Okay.
Yeah, he's coming up on year 3, but I don't think he's going to see that. I think he's a cap casualty, because when you look at the cap space that was given because of the cap space increase to 255, then you look at of course they're going to restructure Mahomes, turn some of his money into signing bonus. So there's cap.
Oh, they'll do that every year, man.
Yeah, they'll do that every year.
You can't let that contract ride out like that. It was just a fucking overly done, ridiculous, stupid contract. Listen, you're winning Super Bowls, but if you're breaking it down financially, take the success out of it and the talent out of it. 10 years, $500 million was stupid, or 490 or 450, whatever it was. So it could be 500. There's no reason for that. Well, I get what you're saying. You could save money long term since they locked them up long term.
Well, they locked him up long term, but I think the contract was just to always make sure that he gets his money, but in order for him to always be able to have a chance to make cap relief to keep certain players. Yeah. I think it was intended for that. I really do.
Agree.
Because you're going to kick some more money off to a signing bonus to make sure that because here's my biggest thing. I was very optimistic that they could keep Snead and Jones, but now that I'm looking at Brett Veach's track record, I think Snead is gone because Brett Veach doesn't sign corners. He hasn't. He drafts them well, and he finds free agent corners for the low. Because remember, he didn't pay Traverius Ward, and he went to San Francisco and got paid. And he played well with the Chiefs.
I forgot he started off with you guys.
I don't think Snead will be in the Chiefs uniform. I hate to say it, but he's going to ask for big money. He's going to ask for lockdown #1 corner money. So we'll see what happens. So the Chiefs won't tag Snead. They're definitely not tagging Chris Jones because the tag would be way too fucking high.
Yeah, $36 million because it's a percentage of what you made at his point of his career.
You can tag Snead if you want to, but I'm just saying, like, you're still looking at, if you can't get a deal done, you're paying probably 1 year for $20+ million for just that 1 year. So I think they tag him just to make sure he stays in the building. But they'll get it if they tag him. I think they find a way to work the money. But hey, man, there it is. Another. That's your. I think that's your first full 1.0 mock.
Yeah.
So pay attention to that. I'm still getting some guests riled up for our mock draft series that we're going to do. Touch on a whole bunch of other teams, see what they got going on. But
I do want to add something before we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our boy Tony the Savant had his group, and I saw somebody post a question in there, and he posted his YouTube link, and it said, "When will we see a female head coach in the NFL?" And you know me, I was like, "Oh, I could see it now." Offensive coordinator, coach, it's 4th down. You want to kick it or go for it? Female head coach. I don't care. Whatever you want is fine. Offensive coordinator. You need to decide now. The clock is running. Female head coach. Why don't you go ask Sharon what she wants to do? I saw you talking to her in the break room last week. Referee. Delay of game.
Why don't you go ask Sharon?
At MetLife here, I texted my buddy that because he's not on Facebook, and we were going back and forth, and we had come back up with a couple others. Coach, it's 4th down. What do you want to run here? I want to run to the American Dream Mall after the game. There's a huge sale,
bro.
Female
ladies, the thoughts.
Female head coach's team gets shut out this week. Coach, can you tell us the reason? Well, I had my period, so nobody scored this week.
The thoughts and jokes of Nick Shine reflects him and proud New York Jets fans only, not of I.O.W. Sports. No, man, that's what you wild, bro. No, man, we'll see what happens with the draft. Like I said, we got a lot of trying to get some guests riled up to represent some other teams and whatnot. So, hey, man, it's been real. No, I don't know what happened. It's been real. We appreciate everybody. Yeah, I don't know how we got canceled yet. Anyway, AP, it's been a miracle how we haven't got canceled. But hey, we're still here, and while we're still here, we're gonna keep rocking it out, man. But hey, y'all tap in with us. I.O.W. Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, most importantly on the YouTube network, the YouTube channel. Tap in with the big homie Nick Shine, proud New York Jets fans.
Yeah,
Detroit Mail.
That real quick.
I just did.
AP, thank you for showing up last night. I started 2 weekly time slots, man. I started the Thursday Night Throwdown. It's a show where I debate other Jets fans on a Jet topic.
Yeah,
or content creators. And then in hour 2, I open it up to questions. Sunday night, we got Sunday Night Shine Time. And last night was my first monetized show. And
nice.
I got blessed with $97 in super chats last night during the show.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Thank you to everyone. AP popped in. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah. I keep showing support to the big homie Nick Shine. You know what it is. Hey man, we grinding. So appreciate everybody's love and support. Tap in with Detroit Mail, No Name Podcast, Wildcard Chief Podcast that I do for Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, it's been real. We will see y'all Thursday. Yes, Thursday. I know I haven't done yeah, that's what it is, Thursday. And that's what we're going to do.
Just for the record, Bronny only outscored you and me by 1.6 points during this entire show.
Damn. Dog. Hey, we top draft picks, baby. Anyway,
that's my new fuck. Instead of fuck Mel, I'm gonna shit on Bronny now. You got more turnovers than points, motherfucker.
No, I took a pause on the midnight show, AP. Obviously, I got a lot going on. I'm looking to probably. I might bring it back. I might do something in place of it. We'll see. I'm kind of working on a lot of things right now, so we'll see what happens. So, hey, man, we appreciate the love and the support. We'll get at y'all. It's been real. Big homie Nick Shine. Wildcard Mar. We out. See y'all Thursday.